you're getting more and more into metal roofing, and you've been spending money with suppliers that are showing up to run panels for you, or you're buying them from a factory panel producer such as a Metal Sales or a Central States or somebody like that, and you've decided that you would rather put some of that profitability into your own pocket as opposed to putting it into the supplier's pockets.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Metal Roofing Channel. Welcome to Q&A Mondays. Today we're going to talk about when is it right for your business to make the leap into manufacturing your own metal roofing and siding profiles, specifically buying a roll forming machine. And so I've got a guest from New Tech Machinery, Tom Laird, here to help me out. Thanks for being here, Tom.
Of course. Always a pleasure.
Portable roll forming has become huge in the last 20 years. Everybody is seeing machines. They want to buy their own machine, get into metal roofing. They see that space. But we're talking about when is it the right time? So Tom, when people call you, what are some things that you talk to them about first to kind of understand where they're at in order to recommend whether or not they should get a machine?
Sure. Well, first off, thanks for having me, Thad. And the first thing I'll always ask a potential client of ours is, how did you learn about us? Was this something you were at a job site and you saw one of our machines being used? You're getting more and more into metal roofing, and you've been spending money with suppliers that are showing up to run panels for you, or you're buying them from a factory panel producer such as a Metal Sales or a Central States or somebody like that, and you've decided that you would rather put some of that profitability into your own pocket as opposed to putting it into the supplier's pockets. So there are a few different reasons that customers reach out to us. But the first thing I like to clarify is what was your impetus for reaching out to us, and is buying a machine going to be the right move for your business? And when I say that, I'm not trying to talk anyone out of purchasing a machine of mine, but I want to make sure that they know what they're getting themselves into, that they're going to have a crew that's going to be able to utilize and be champions of that machine, or that the person that I'm talking to, that they're going to be the champion of the machine. Because again, you're buying a piece of mechanical equipment, and it's going to require maintenance and troubleshooting and things along those lines. So the very first conversations will be, is purchasing a machine going to be the right move for your business? If we get past that and the customer says, yes, I've got a crew, I have an installation crew, I have people that I am going to dedicate towards the use of that machine, then the next question I'm going to answer is, what type of roofing are you doing? What type of roofing are you looking to produce? And sometimes it could be roofing and siding, and that could be the SSQ3 machine because it's capable of doing both. And sometimes it'll be, I do 6 metal roofs a year and I don't ever see my business growing from there. That gives me the idea that I can get you into more of an entry-level machine because it's probably going to be the right machine for your needs. But it's always kind of a fact-finding mission up front to find out what the impetus was for the customer reaching out to us, to make sure that we guide them in the right way.
Yep. It's really balancing that business need versus the business capabilities, right? There's two parts to it when it comes to buying a machine. Let's dive deeper into the business need first and talk a little bit about that, because to me, there's roofers that are looking to get into metal. Maybe they do shingles or flat roofing or something similar, and they see the growth of metal roofing. They want to get into it, so they want to look at a machine. Or it could be a roofer that does metal roofing and they buy panels, like you were saying earlier, and they want to take control of their own manufacturing. So there's a couple different types here. So can you talk to that?
Absolutely. On the first standpoint, where you're talking about people that have been doing other types of roofing and see the growth and the potential for metal roofing, and those are the people that outside of the machine itself are going to need a little guidance on where are you going to get your trim, where are you going to get all of your metal accessories. And that's where companies like Sheffield Metals will come into play for us and be such a great partner for us, as you guys are, because you're going to give them that guidance on the installation side of things, and the types of flashings they're going to need, the drip edge, the other things that are going to go along with the metal roofing system. And since we're just a machine panel manufacturer, I don't have a dog in that hunt. I can't steer them to, you're going to need a folder and a brake and get this. You might need a recoiler. You might need a slitting line. other things that'll happen that will be something they will need down the line as if they dabble more into metal roofing. The other side of that is when you have a customer that has been buying their panels or having a chop and drop supplier show up to run panels for them, they understand that, well, these people are making money off me to do this. So I want to put that money in my own pockets. And completely legitimate and completely makes sense. But again, you still want to have that plan in place. One of the most common things I'll hear about from people on that second standpoint is that, oh, well, I bought a factory produced panel and all the panels were shipped 2 inches short. And when you get into that sort of a situation, that makes owning your own roll former kind of a no-brainer, because if that happens in the future, well, just go run more panels. You got the machine there. Plus, you're going to have the machine at the job site. You're going to be taking measurements right off of that roof and putting those measurements right into your machine to have that machine run those panels for you at those specific lengths. So a lot of it is due to curiosity or seeing what the future is going to be holding as far as where metal roofing is going, or folks that are tired of feeling like they're paying others and having them hold their business hostage while they're waiting to get the panels that they need.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole list of items if I'm buying metal panels from a supplier that could go wrong, right? I'm relying on their lead time, on their measurements. I'm paying their overhead, their profit margins. So there's a whole lot of things to think about there. But on the flip side, you have to understand for your own business where that threshold is of, am I paying too much? And is it now making sense for me to actually buy my own machine and then take on that liability and asset now?
Absolutely. And we've done cost studies and we have articles on our website that talk about return on investment on equipment and typically how much customers are going to save by producing their own panels. And the thing that I'll always mention to these folks is that when you're looking at those returns on investment and the information that we've put together for that's all in a perfect world. You get one job that's shipped by a panel manufacturer that is the wrong color or freight damaged, for example. You're going to save way more than what our return on investment charts are going to show you, because you just had a job that just went in the toilet for you, and now you have to have a way to recoup your costs and a way to save more money. The other part of that is that we hadn't mentioned yet is the less waste by being able to produce your own panels on a job site. Because when you're ordering, even from a chop and drop supplier, you might be buying panels in pre-specified lengths. And then when you go to do the installation of that specific project, you notice you're dropping 2-3 foot per panel that you're not going to be reusing. So obviously that's going to create waste. Whereas if you have the machine at a job site, you program in your cut list right into that controller and the machine's going to run it for you automatically and be way more accurate and have a lot less waste.
Yep. And so on the business capabilities side, we talked about the need a little bit. On the capabilities side, what do I need to understand if I'm buying a machine for the first time? What am I going to have to put into it on a daily basis?
Well, obviously there's going to be some general maintenance, some keep that machine running the way it's running the day it leaves our factory, keeping your shear blades properly lubricated, keeping the interior workings of the machine lubricated and clean. So you're going to always have that. And the other part of it is making sure that you have a good partner for your material supply, whether that just is the coil supplier or you have other folks that are making your trim pieces for you, or if you decide you're going to enter that realm as well and you're going to be purchasing your own folders, slitters, things along those lines to go ahead and make your trim pieces. So that's the other part of it that folks have to think about. Alternatively, we have folks that buy these machines that are doing it for the chop and drop aspect that we mentioned. They're not going to be looking to go out and supply every piece of trim for that specific project. They're just going to be supplying you with the panels. And even in those cases, smart chop and drop suppliers will ask their customers for a cut list ahead of time, and they'll be able to download that cut list into their controller on that machine so that when they get to that specific job site, they know exactly what they're running for that client. So they're still going to be having that end user still going to have less waste by having a person show up with a machine to run those panels for them.
Yep. And the other thing about business capabilities is your operator and crew, right? Making sure that you have someone dedicated who can be trained and understands the workings of the machine.
And that's one of the first questions I'll usually ask a client is that, are you going to be the champion of the machine? Do you have a crew that's going to be the champion of the machine? Because if it's neither, or you're like, well, I know how to push buttons, but if anything goes wrong, I'm calling you guys. Then I'll say, you know what? I don't think owning a machine is the right thing for you. Because again, it's a piece of mechanical equipment. Everybody owns a car. Everybody's driven a car knows that once in a while you have an issue, your car doesn't start, or you have a flat tire, so there's going to be some general maintenance items that you're always going to have with any piece of equipment. And it's going to be important that you understand how to use that. We can't stress enough the importance of training and making sure that you have people that are dedicated towards the use and maintenance of that machine to make it a successful operation. Yeah.
And when it comes to paying for the equipment, how do I know my business is ready in terms of either financing or paying up front? What's that process like?
We work with finance companies, and we'll work with anyone's bank or finance company if they already have somebody they're set up with. But we work with finance companies that can help customers purchase our equipment if they don't have the capital up front to be purchasing one direct or to pay for it right up front. And we have customers of both ilks. People that don't like using other people's money, and they're like, I've got the money, I'm going to buy it now, I don't want to pay the interest. And then we have customers that are like, no, I want to protect my own money, I'm going to use it for emergencies and other things that I might need down the road. So I have good credit, I'm going to finance this machine. So we work with people both ways. And the important thing is to make sure that through conversations with us, through conversations with companies like Sheffield Metals, that we get you into the proper equipment and options that are going to make you most successful with your business. It's funny, I get calls quite often from clients that are like, well, just give me a quote for a machine. Well, I can give you a quote for a machine, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be the right quote for your business, the right quote for your region, and for the right quote for where you see your business going in 5 years. So that's why I like to put a little bit of onus back on those end users to make sure that they can communicate with me the best way, because I'm not the one buying the machine, they are. I want them to be happy with it. The last thing I want is a customer to buy a machine and 6 months later they're, why did you talk me into this? Or I don't have any use for that. We want to make sure that we have an open dialogue both ways to guide you and to make sure that you're getting exactly what you're going to need.
Yeah. I always like to think about the end product that I'm producing, right? It's easy to look at a list of machine features and say, oh, that'd be nice. But is that what you actually want to sell? Is that what people will actually pay for in your region? You got to start there. And then you can work through the features, and someone like you or a Sheffield Metals is going to help you do that.
Correct. Absolutely.
Did we miss anything?
No, I know we talked a little bit about knowing what's right for your business and kind of steering in that way. A little sidelight to that is that there are specific panel profiles that, customers think of standing seam metal roofing. They think, oh, okay, it's either mechanically seamed or a snap lock panel profile I'm going to install on a roof. Well, our SSQ3 machine's capable of doing flush wall soffit panel profiles that can also be used in underdecking applications. It's capable of doing a 2.5-inch trapezoid profile, which is a popular profile for industrial applications, warehouses, storage units, things like that. And it's also capable of doing a board and batten vertical siding panel profile. So those are things that, as a roofer, they're going to add value to your business. Maybe not from day one, but as you grow and as you have the ability to offer that to your client base, again, you don't have to buy it up front, but if you feel that you're creating a market for new things, you have a machine that's going to grow with you in your business.
Yep, 100%. All right. Well, thanks very much, Tom. Really appreciate the insight.
Hey, anytime. I'm always here to be of service.
If you have any questions, please comment down below or visit SheffieldMetals.com and check out our machinery page where you can build and configure your very own NewTek machinery portable rollformer. Thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe here to the Metal Roofing channel. As always, I'm Thad Barnette. We'll catch you next time.